If you like what you watch, then don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the latest updates on The More Show. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for new weekly television and radio shows.
Derek Acorah is the #1 television psychic in the UK. And as a result of Derek's sincerity and enthusiastic delivery, Derek has achieved international acclaim with television, radio, and personal appearances across the globe. Derek invited me to his home to discuss his amazing career and views on spirituality. Welcome to the show. I'm currently joined here with Derek Acorah. Well, Derek, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kevin.
Now, we're going to talk about your career and spirituality, which is one of my favourite subjects.
Is it? Yeah.
So, for yourself, what does spirituality mean?
To me, spirituality means that you put other people before yourself. You think of others before yourself. You should follow a way of thinking where you can go out of your way, come out of your comfort zone and do a little bit of help here, a little bit of help there, a little bit of help there. And all those little bits of help come to a whole. That, to me, is what spirituality is. Give first, then receive. Give big, receive little.
So then, how did your journey into spirituality begin? I mean, obviously everyone's got a story, haven't they?
Yes.
And yours started off in football, did it not?
It did. I was playing for my local school side and I got selected for the county, Lancashire boys. Become an English boys trialist, but didn't get in that side. Whilst I was playing at that age, there was a lot of club scouts watching, you know, when we were playing. And Liverpool Football Club had one of the scouts at one of these games. I was playing for Bootle boys against Manchester boys. I'll never forget that. And this man approached me after the game and he said, "Is your father here watching?" I said, "No, he's back at home. He can't be here." Right, he said, "I'd like to speak to your father." So I said, "Okay." So he said, "Do you want to come in my car?" And I was prevented from going in the car by the sports teacher. He said, "No, I will drive him, you follow us in the car." And we went into the house and Dad was shocked and surprised. I mean, really shocked and surprised, because you probably won't know what I'm going to say. For years, my father supported a football club with my uncles, and they were all Evertonians. For a Liverpool scout to come into Dad's house, asking for me to sign for Liverpool, when all my uncles would have given the right arm for Derek, the footballer, to become an Everton player. And after getting used to the idea, he said, "Well, you know, it's a great football club. What do you think, son?" I said, "Oh, Dad, you know."
So that support's always been there then, hasn't it, with your
yes.
family?
Oh, yes.
Because without that, like you said, I mean, they were an opposing side supporter, and along comes this other club.
Yeah.
But they supported you.
They supported me.
Which took you on this journey, didn't it?
Absolutely. They knew how much I love football. In those early years, you know, when little girls go to bed with their dollies and their teddy bears, Derek wouldn't go to bed unless he had his football.
Now, you achieved quite a lot in the football, didn't you?
Well, I suppose I did. Maybe I thought I didn't. But looking back, I mean, I got as far as Liverpool reserves and played there quite regular.
Well, you know, looking back, that was still quite a good achievement. So what happened, though, to sort of stop this football career?
Well, what actually happened a number of years later, I found myself going out and signing for a football side in South Australia. It was called Virtus FC. They were in the first division. And I thought, you know, I'd like to start taking my coaching badge. And this was an ideal opportunity. So we flew out to Australia and it was very successful the first couple of seasons. We won the Ample Cup, we won the Dimmer Cup, we were second in the league 2 years running. So we were doing okay. But I started to get quite a problem with this left knee. And I played in one game and I was carried off and they whipped me to hospital. So the specialist and they opened it up to have a little look and they repaired what was damaged. So then I had to go to the end of the season, not playing, through the close season. But by the time the next season came along, I started. 2 games in, bang again.
So this was the end of the football career?
That
then?
was the end of my football.
So
Broke my heart.
do you believe everything happens for a reason then?
Absolutely, looking back, everything does happen for a reason.
So what did happen then in your career?
Well, both my wife and I decided that, you know what, if I couldn't follow football, I wasn't a full coach, so I couldn't earn a living from this, so we decided to come back to the UK rather quickly.
Okay, but where did this spiritual awakening happen inside you then to become a medium?
It happened almost immediately when I got back and we went to our first home. Within nights, I was going to bed and I was going into this dream state. And I saw people I'd never seen before, as I thought. I saw my grandmother coming and saying, "Now's the time, son." Then my guide, Sam, was coming to me. Then a flashback to my previous life in Ethiopia, when I met my guide, Sam. All this stuff. In fact, I said to my wife, she knew it, I was dreading going to bed.
Well, was you dreading telling your friends as well what was going on?
I didn't tell them.
No.
I only told my nearest and dearest.
Okay.
And it was, I suppose, quite alarming to me in feeling, but the more it went on, the more ingrained of the knowledge from the past was coming back at me.
So did this empower you then to go out and, you know, become what you did become eventually,
Yes.
a TV medium?
Yes, well, what I did, I found out about the spiritualist churches, and I went along to two, and I joined those, and rather quickly sat in what we call development class. And after a very short space of time, I took the bull by the horns, and I placed an ad. Where I got the guts to do this, I don't know. Bull by the horns, and I placed one solitary ad in a paper called the Liverpool Echo, offering my services to do private readings for people in their homes. And I got replies.
So would you say then you went with your truth in a sense?
Yes.
And what was your truth at that point?
Well, by this time, I knew everything that Gran had said many years ago, feelings that were being generated in me were totally different than what only months before Derek the footballer.
Should we always go with our truth?
Yes, I believe so.
But why don't we though?
For many reasons, I suppose. Some of it may be fear, that, you know, are we imagining our feelings? Are we orchestrating something that's not really there? I think there's some of the reasons why. But you know what? It was often said to me, even by my gran many years before, courage, look up, not down at your feet, and walk forward in your truth. And that's what I've practiced.
Well, did you want to be famous?
No,
But it came.
it came.
Did it come at a price, do you think?
Well, first, I didn't look for fame in any way. Everything that seems to have happened has been slotted in for me to peruse an offer. Would you like to do? Well, yes, please, I think I would. And maybe what I was doing inside was trying to visualize what an outcome could be. And then started to realize that maybe, hey, I'm really enjoying this as well. I'm not just doing it, I'm feeling it inside, I'm doing it, what I'm meant to do.
And it's that feeling, it's that knowing at a deeper level, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's when you know you're on the right path.
Absolutely.
Do you think we fear the ultimate truth of our abilities sometimes, or what we can ultimately achieve?
Yes, you know, we can almost achieve anything, really, that I come to believe anyway. And I think it is an innate fear. It's trusting the unknown that you're walking into, trusting the inner self, the inner voice telling you, Derek, Kevin, this is the way. Do you want to be happy? Yes, walk this way. It's going on within. It's like the inner voice. You're not hearing the voice, but the inner voice is still there, and the inner voice is still connecting with you and trying to persuade you the best pathway for you, where you're going to enjoy, going to gain valuable.
But when you opened those kind of doors, did you find there was a lot of resistance as such? I mean, was there quite a lot of skepticism? Or?
Absolutely. I was hit with left, right and centre. And I thought, you know, this inner truth, that's not going to back me down. If anything, it's going to it's going to make me stronger.
And do you think you get that strength from that sort of football background where you're just determined to win? Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, that does come from there. That the enthusiasm, that I'd always remembered the great Bill Shankly, who was my manager at Liverpool then, saying to us young professionals, "You will fight for this club. You will. If I tell you, you'll go through that brick wall for Liverpool Football Club, won't you?" "Yes, we will, boss." And he used to drill this into us in the training ground every morning.
But did you find yourself loving yourself more as you went with your truth?
Yes. I became more at peace with myself. There seemed to be a refined balance, not in moderation either, was developing. And I'm saying to myself inside, "Oh, this feels good. Oh, if someone could feel like this, oh, it's good at all, try it."
Did you feel that you could manifest anything at that time?
No, I didn't think I could manifest anything. No one can. But I knew I was far greater equipped to be not thinking outlandish, but thinking, I can achieve this. I'm going for it. I'm going for this. I got there.
So you tuned yourself into what it was you wanted.
I zoned
and
myself.
you just went for it. So when you say that we can't manifest anything, you're not saying that it's anything's impossible. What you're saying is just make sure it's your truth.
Yes.
How do we know it's the truth though? For us? Is it the feeling?
Sometimes you've got to radically trust that feeling. Radical. So what I did at one point, not in front of my wife, my children, at one point I remember being in a hotel room and I put my hands up and I said, "I radically trust you. Your guidance, what you wish for me, what I should be doing, radically trust." I let go.
You surrendered.
Yes, I did.
So you'd done your best at that moment,
Yeah.
and it was up to the universe to do the rest. Could you personify that word to God as well, so that we don't miss anyone out there?
Oh, it's to God, yeah. Oh, certainly. A lot of people say, when they talk to me in conversations, whether it be in shopping areas, whatever, you know what, we never thought that you would be a religious-minded man. I said, well, you were quite wrong about that, because yes, I believe in the Creator. I know of the creative work through the universe, and I trust it radically. Trust it more than anything else.
Okay, well, just after the break, we're going to talk about some stuff that that works for you, that you practice, like meditation, for example, that can help the audience to be empowered as well. So
Yes.
Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Visit themoreshow.co.uk/shop to purchase products and services from your favourite past guests. If you're new to this site, you can also catch up on the previous television and radio shows through YouTube and the More Show website.
Welcome back to the show. I'm still joined here with Acorah. Now, Derek, just before the break there, I wanted to ask yourself about meditation. Now, that's something you firmly believe in, isn't it?
Meditation is so important to me, so valuable. So much so that I, for a lot of years now, have pre-thought the timings for my meditation, and it's always in the evening time. At 11 p.m. every evening I'm at home, I go to my meditation room and spend just under an hour there. If I'm on the road, doing theatres, shows, it goes on in the hotel bedroom, 11. I make sure sometimes I'm not getting out of the theatres till 11:15, and I race in the car, well, not too fast, go in my car, get back to the hotel. I've got to be in there for 11 o'clock.
I mean, do you think
It's a discipline.
That's what I was yeah, it's a discipline as much as it is for, do people give themselves enough time back? I mean, what would an hour do to someone sometimes, just to give them that quiet period?
Well, firstly, if they've had a very, very hectic day, very hectic week, or they're in a very, very busy job, and they're using their energies, they're burning those energies, sometimes not recouping them back, for them to go into this wonderful quietude, maybe for the first time ever, and witness the silence. The silence, it's not silent. The silence contains so much that, let's say, our conscious mind doesn't comprehend. The brain, in our thinking, our general way of life. We're too busy. We're having to do. We can't slow down. We can't quieten ourselves down. We can't go within. Meditation opens that beautiful doorway.
And do you think we should go within? Is that where some of the answers lie for our problems?
I believe very much so that meditation is a wonderful, wonderful benefit to every person that comes and lives a physical life.
So when you've given readings before, and I'm sure you do readings now and then just a little bit, it's not your main thing right now, what's the sort of common theme for you, for people that come to see you? I mean, is it that they're after healing, or?
Oh, a mixture. When people come to see you, there's a mixture of things. What you've just said, and a lot of people ask for healing, yes. A lot of people need healing. And just by sitting, never mind doing the reading, sitting in the company of a person, and you're thinking right, and you're wanting from your spirit to help that person, it's a wonderful key into the, tapping into the great universal mind. To, yes, unselfish thinking, yes, you want for this person, your brother, your sister, yes, it will be bestowed.
Yeah.
So there's the healing. People come because they've been stopped in the tracks at a given time in their life. They have to take stock. Oh, I didn't expect that. Oh, I didn't expect this divorce. Oh, I got sacked. I didn't expect this. Traumas. Meditation helps that.
And can you relate those sort of traumas and aspects into your life? Not that you've gone through major traumas, but you've had your fair share of ups and downs.
I've had ups and downs. We're not an elite little club, spiritual mediums, and we have to deal with responsibilities every day, just like anyone else. And of course, I have come across, let's say, negative aspects at times, and I had to take it on board and bounce back from it. You know what? Had I not been meditating, who knows? Maybe I might not have bounced back so quick.
I mean, obviously your family is a major support to you in what you do, aren't they?
Oh, my family is very, very important. I've had an amazing journey with a lovely lady that's looked after me, that's watched my back. She has encouraged my work. She speaks out about my work and how proud and pleased she is, and she sees the good that it's doing, and she encourages more of it. So, and then of course my children and now my grandchildren. Yeah, I'm a very fortunate man. Very fortunate man in life.
But do you think without that encouragement, you may not have gone on the path that you went on?
I'm not saying that I wouldn't have gone on the path that I actually went on, but it might not have happened so quickly or as readily.
So one of the lessons maybe in life is support each other in what we want to do. Don't put someone down if that's what
that's it.
That's their wish.
Support, and if you can't support, don't do anything at all.
So obviously this support helped you with when your career started to take off in TV with Most Haunted. I mean, what was that like to be on a national syndicated show?
To be with a programme, the very first time I'd ever worked on television, to be with a programme like Most Haunted, I was there from the conception, from the pilot. And I remember walking away from the pilot, talking to the other contributors, and that means presenters included. And I said, you know what, that was fun. And the presenter, she said, it wasn't only fun, I felt it was energizing. And I thought, well, that as well. Do you think, the next question, do you think we'll be able to sell this programme to a broadcaster? I turned to the right and I said, well, I'm getting told by Sam here that it's going to be hit and miss. What do you mean hit and miss? You're going to go round to so many, it's going to be rejected. But there is one person out there that when you take it into, whether it be a controller, commissioner, one is going to have the vision and is going to say, I like this, and commission it, and then you're off. You'll have a cool programme eventually. Oh, Carl, naming names. Someone said those words, Carl. That's fantastic, isn't it? Well, yeah, fantastic. And it happened that way. They went virtually to every commissioner at every, network until they went to one, the last one. It was the last one they were going to. And that person was there.
Do you think our thinking affects the outcome of what we're trying to achieve? And we have to think the right way, don't we?
Yes, it does. If we think right, your directiveness, okay, is speedier if you think right. Doesn't mean to say that if you're slightly out a bit and you're not thinking totally right, that you're not going to get to that goal. It just takes a little bit longer.
You mentioned your spirituality before. How does that fit in with religion, though? I mean, are they one of the or two of the same thing, or?
Well, you know, I was brought up in under Catholicism as a Catholic, and I didn't reject Catholicism as such. I just didn't cotton on to everything that was associated with Catholicism. There's one thing I don't mind admitting, even on broadcast television, that I disliked and I objected to it, was this: every other lesson seemed to be catechism. It was English catechism, maths catechism. And I used to think, what a waste of time. Drumming all this, they could do that in one lesson, your religious studies, and put better content. Give us an extra hour on maths, give us an extra, you see. And when I objected that, certain people took note. I was attached to a school that was run by nuns, teachers naturally, and the head of the church was next door, and the local priest, Father Kelly, who later became Canon Kelly many years later, he brought that quote up to me.
Okay then, well, looking back on your life now, would you say it's been lessons after lessons?
I would say up to now, it's been a catalogue of lessons.
Is life a lesson?
Yes. Trials, tests, with the final offer that you will dwell in utopia, a heavenly state, for all time. But you've got to go through your trials and your tests.
Can you find that heavenly state now, at this very moment?
At certain times I feel that I'm so close to it. I feel embarrassed that I'm living that.
Why? Why do you feel embarrassed for?
Well, because I would love every person to have this. And they would get on with their lives. The vision would be expanded beyond many vistas.
Well, why don't people want to take that challenge up? I mean, is that too much like hard work?
Too much hard work, too much effort, fear. Fear is one of the most horriblest things that can ever attach itself to our minds. We push fear away, and you can move mountains.
So would you say decisions come from two things, love or fear?
Love, it says, one of the two, love or fear. What do you want? Do you want love, or do you want to experience the fear? I know which is best, quietly.
As your life's gone on, would you say that you're a completely different person to where you were even 10 years ago?
I would say I am a different person, but I was out maybe 10, 15 years ago, yeah. I seem to have, at this moment in time, the way my mind is, my empathy, my sympathy, my inner fitness and thought is to help young people. And I've started doing it. I've started doing it at charities, kiddies' hospices. I take great pride in this, to help these people who I know are only going to be in their life's incarnation for a short space of time. And I like to go to these places and talk with the children, spend time around them.
Do you find that difficult?
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think they know where they're going, some of them?
Some of them do.
More in tune than an older person would
Yes,
be?
some of them do. They do. They'll say it. I mean...
What is that? What is the purpose of life then? Why are they going through that?
Because in life's involvement, my belief is we have many life incarnations for soul growth. We can't sit at the right-hand side of the boss until we've gone through everything. How can we be the perfection? We need to come back until we achieve and do all the right things, do all the good things, if you want to lead to that love, you've got to display love. Only love will attract love.
Right, well, one more question for yourself. Obviously, I know you're bringing a new book out soon as well,
Yes,
which
yeah.
is animal communication, which is a completely different, direction what you were doing.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that book very briefly.
Okay. Well, it was based from basically a program I did for Sky, and that was where I used to make connections with people's loved ones, the animals, the dogs that had passed on, or had to be put asleep at the vet and whatever, and they come through because they've got stories to tell, because they have a spirit within them, our lovely animal friends. Not all animals, domestic animals that live with us human beings. They've been blessed with that. So there's an animal kingdom for them, apart from where we go in the world of spirit. And we can go and play with them. They're renewed. If they had no legs, that's all renewed. And they run the legs off our loved ones. And the book is all about that connection. Are animals psychic? Yes, they are. Do they use their psychic ability more than human beings? Yes, they do. Is it purely instinct? No, it's not.
So is the one lesson through animals the lesson of unconditional love?
That's it. That's the key. Unconditional love. You don't get that in the humankind. Not often.
Well, Derek Acorah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Kevin.
For more information on any of my guests on today's show, visit my website, themoreshow.co.uk. Now you can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the latest updates on the shows. So until next time, thanks for watching.
If you like what you watch, then don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the latest updates on The More Show. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for new weekly television and radio shows.